Why am I going to Michigan? I'm going to Michigan for the Firekeepers 400 auto race. So there's that. And the Cabo Wabo 250, which is the Xfinity race. And I don't know who the sponsor of the ARCA race is, but we're going to the Grand Irish Hills of Michigan in Brooklyn, Michigan, which is a NASCAR event. And I can't wait. My son's excited. Ford has won the last 8, Richard. A lot of pressure on Ford. They've won the last 8 races there.
Yeah, slam dunk. We're in.
I hope.
What's your son say? What does your son say? What's his prediction?
Ford. He thinks a Ford will win. It's like a home race for Ford because all the manufacturer and the people, and it's a big Ford party. So can't wait to get there. We're going to have a wonderful time.
That's fabulous. That really is.
It is.
Driving in your Ford?
Yeah, driving. I'm actually taking a Ford Bronco up there, which is nice.
Wow.
The Ford Bronco, what edition is it? Can't think of it now. But yeah, one of the Ford Bronco editions.
Hopefully you got it from us.
Yeah, I got it from 3 great locations: Schultz Ford Wexford, Schultz Ford Harmer, Schultz Ford South, and West Mifflin. I got it from Harmer. Yes.
So show over. That's all we needed to say. Done.
Yes.
Except I know there's more on your mind than just that.
I've been at camp for a while. And by camp, I mean not like sleepaway camp, shooting bows and arrows and canoeing and things like that. I've been at football camp. And the scuttlebutt, not just with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but around the NFL really, is George Pickens. A lot of people talking about him, a lot of people showing the clip, and just, man, a whole lot of things talking about George Pickens and the play he made over Joey Porter. I think you have a lot to say about this. You seem to be in tune to this. Why is it such a big thing? Tell me.
Well, because first of all, I'm a football fanatic. I was a star linebacker, middle linebacker.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
120 pounds soaking wet. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, no, it's interesting to me because I don't just love the game. I love the personalities. And I love looking at it from a leadership point of view and trying to understand the psyche, the egos, and all the things and the training that go into becoming great. And so when I looked at that clip, the thing about that clip, I mean, it's so easy. Joey Porter Jr., you're going to be a superstar, man. Everybody loves you. Everybody knows what you can be. You're going to be that soon. You might be or might not be yet. I don't know that. And I'm not qualified to judge, but I do love the family. I love his dad, and I love his ability. However, that said, he got smoked yesterday.
I don't know. By the way, it just hit me.
Wait. So now that's not fair.
It just hit me. It's the Outer Banks edition because there's the Everglades edition. It's the Outer Banks edition, just so we got it square away. People were waiting for me to remember. I have a bad memory. Anyway, back to Joey Porter. He did not get smoked. He did not get smoked.
Whoa. He did. You know why he did? No, he did. Well, first of all, nobody could have defended against that catch.
Well, then you just talked yourself into hypocrisy, Richard.
Except when you run that clip in slow motion, you see where Joey did get beat. And that's because he turned his back on the ball. When he turned his back on the ball, Pickens came back for it. He saw the ball coming. He judged that ball. He knew it was a back shoulder. And Joey had his back to the ball. And so, yeah, I mean, he'll look at this and think, Bazzy, shut up, sell cars. I get it. I will.
No.
But the point is he had his back to the ball. And when you turn your back to the ball and the receiver's looking at the ball, it's going to be pretty hard to make that play. Now, in George Pickens' defense, that almost looked like a duplicate of the play he made last year that was insane on the sidelines. You remember that play?
Correct. Yeah. Which is my whole point.
I know.
Can we chalk it up to this? Very few people, and by very few people, I mean like a handful in the NFL can make that catch.
I get.
So he is just that good. So when did I become the positive guy and you the negative guy?
I'm not negative.
So if I take it from this standpoint, George Pickens made a catch very few in the NFL can make. He made it. He happened to make it on Joey Porter. Thus, Joey Porter playing against him in practice every day, he knows he has to defend the best of the best. It'll make both of them better.
It makes them both better. You did say that. I have heard you say that. You are absolutely correct. But it really is kind of fun to watch that competition. I loved it when George handed him the ball. I loved it when Joey Porter threw it back at him. I love all that because that's training camp. And that's the competitive spirit of these guys. And I love that. It takes it to a whole new level because that does make them better. And in the end of it, it makes them closer as a unit. And I love all that. So we can sit here and talk about that. Good play, bad play, beat, not beat. But it does make me say again, that catch is not unique to George Pickens. Why the hell didn't we use him more last year?
That's the question. And, I asked George Pickens this on Wednesday afternoon. I stood right next to him and asked him flat out. I said, can we see more of you multidimensional, as in not just straight down the field and essentially throwing alley-oops to and trying to jump up and beat it? And the answer was very intriguing. He's a lot more introspective than I initially thought from him. Yeah. And it was kind of like one of these, I'm here for it. I'm signed up for that. Let me be that guy. And then which it
takes it back right to where I think is our Achilles heel, right to where I think the only way to derail this is one person. And who is that person?
Matt Canada. So if it's up to George Pickens will run more routes over the middle. He'll do more things than just catch balls over people. He'll catch it in the flat and run with it. And I thought it was a very interesting moment because we hadn't heard this before. So now, and people don't always send messages through the media, but I felt like this was one where he pretty much said, world, but more importantly, Matt Canada, you're now on notice that I know I can do more, and I've publicly announced it. Yeah. So I'm out there.
It's great perspective. I like that. I kind of take it that way too. Now, I didn't see that comment. I'm only hearing it from you for the first time, but I agree with you. But you're right. Nobody's ever addressed that. And nobody's asked Matt Canada, because what I heard before through the pundits and whomever else chose to speak on the issue was that he had some growing up to do. Well, I don't know how much growing up you can do to go from 6'3" to 8.4 inches high. I mean, the guy plays so much bigger than what his actual size is. And yeah, we want him to do more, but how much more do we need from him? Go down the field. You're not going to beat him. You're not going to beat George Pickens. And you can prep it. You can do whatever you want. He can take you long and throw underneath. I mean, there's so many different ways George Pickens can beat you. And
he is, other than Antonio Brown, he's the best God-given athlete and receiver we've had in this town in quite some time.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say that I'm in agreement with that. There has to be still a proving point of it because he hasn't been given the chance to prove it. Antonio's Antonio. I mean, he's a badass. He's always going to be a badass no matter what. And it's a shame that he got derailed for some of the issues that he's had, but I still like Antonio. When Antonio came out of the league, came out of college, the guy, the family that kind of raised him called me and said, hey, there's a great guy coming into your team. His name is Antonio Brown. I vouch for him. If he wants to do a car endorsement, know that I support it. And we did. And we did a car endorsement, which is how I got him. Got to know him to begin with. And we had a lot of good stories. He showed great humanitarian traits towards my son when they played basketball together. I mean, I think a lot of Antonio. As a matter of fact, I've always said, and I said it to James Harrison. I said, tell him, here's a message. Send this message to him. Tell him I'd love to talk to him because I think personally that I could have helped him. Now, why are we on this topic? I don't know. But I really believe that I could have connected with Antonio Brown and helped through some of these issues. I really do. And I'm sorry I didn't get that chance because I really do like him. So, yes, but that is, as far as pure talent, he proved it. He has it. George Pickens shows it. Now he has to prove it.
No, I agree with you. There's a couple ways he could go. He could go the Martavis Bryant route because Martavis Bryant was as gifted as it, or he could go in terms of just on the field, Antonio Brown. I don't think people understand, and I'm just talking on the field, how good this guy could be. He is, and look,
everybody in the world sees it, Colin.
Everybody, hopefully, including Matt Canada, because here's the thing. I said it was going to be week 5 or 6. This is now the main point. I said it would be week 5 or 6 before he overtook Deontay Johnson as the number 1 receiver. After what's happened in camp and everything, and it's only a few days, and they've only had the pads on just a little while, there is no reason why he shouldn't be the number 1 option in the offense.
Okay, I agree with that. So
in game 1.
No, I agree with that. I just cannot trust Deontay. I just can't. I can't trust him. He could be wide open. I'd still be wondering what's going to happen at the other end of this ball. I mean, I really would be wondering. And it's a shame because I do think he has the talent. But to be honest with you, a guy that doesn't catch 1 touchdown pass for an entire year, 17 games. I mean, the old ESPN line. Come on, man.
Right.
I mean, please. Keep your excuses. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear them. The facts are the facts. The data is the data. Not 1 touchdown pass. So, but even I just can't trust him. And you know what I do with George Pickens? Shit, I trust him implicitly. I've never seen him drop an obvious ball. So yeah, he should be the number 1. But so my question to you is: you saw training camp yesterday.
Yep.
Did Deontay drop balls?
No, Deontay is himself. He is who he is. He understands how to get through training camp in a very positive way because he's a veteran.
Yeah.
But the other part is the best player at training camp through a couple workouts was Anthony McFarland. But he's not going to show it in the games, one would think.
It's training camp. It's still training camp. I agree.
So I can't believe how much further along this year in a second year and how much further along comparative to the other skill players George Pickens is. Like if you just showed up and you were a football guy, you'd say, that guy's been playing in the league 10 years. He's a veteran. He's an all-pro, and he's destined for the Hall of Fame after watching 5 drills. He's that good athletically.
Okay, but then take it to the other side because that ball has to be thrown by somebody. That ball was perfect. It was perfect. It couldn't have been any other spot to make that catch. If it was a little further out, Joey beat him. Joey actually had the speed on him. So he actually had the distance on him. So that ball goes out just a little further, Joey bats the ball down. But that ball was perfect. And the reason it got perfect was when he launched that ball, when Kenny Pickett launched that ball, he knew where he was going to be, where Pickens was going to be. Pickens saw where that ball was going. Joey didn't because he had his back to the ball. So he was able to make that play.
Let me interject. George Pickens is so good that you don't have to throw a perfect ball a lot of times. So that being said, Kenny Pickett, it doesn't matter. Any NFL quarterback can make a lot of throws where George Pickens is going to catch. I think that's fact. You don't have to be as precise as some other guys. It gets down to protecting Kenny Pickett and giving him enough time to just get it in the area of George Pickens.
I agree with that. And so I'm reading a lot of good things about Broderick. Is he the real deal?
Yes, and here's the thing that needs to continue through camp. They need to continue to allow him to just leave Dan Moore behind.
Yeah.
And once he gains traction, and I think he'll do it in the next 5 to 6 days, as the undeniable starter, competition's over. This guy's number 1, this guy's number 2. Start to facilitate. One is the starter and the other one is the backup.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I like his left guard. His left guard will support him. To me, that guy's a monster. I think they will destroy the other side of the ball. I really do.
Samoy Olu is like really
I can't
good.
say his name, which is why I didn't. How do you pronounce it?
Samoy Olu.
Yeah, that. So I just think he's that good. I don't know why they let him go, but I think he's a monster. But how does Najee look?
Good, big, and he caught some balls in the past few days where he showed an ability to catch passes that I hadn't really seen as much in the past.
Okay. I mean, but that's kind of what we knew him to be.
Not down the field, though.
Down the field?
These weren't swing passes. These were passes down the field, which showed me a lot. He's also, no matter how much weight he puts on, it's never bad weight.
No,
Like
he's solid.
he is a specimen. He's a guy that's tough to tackle. Then it gets into this, because now I think this is where the discussion is how much you use him in the preseason. I think he is at optimal health. I think he's at optimal condition. I wouldn't jeopardize that one bit. There's no reason for him to get any carries in the preseason.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Are you going to watch the game tonight?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. Still, it's like the official opening of football season.
There's football on from now until February.
I know,
right?
I love that. I do.
Every single week.
Yeah, I love it. So I'll probably watch at least part of it because I want to see Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers endorsed him again this morning, and I want to see Zach. He looks like he's 12, but but he certainly does have talent. He had some bad luck, but I'd really like to see him grow into that role. I like the mentoring role of Aaron Rodgers, although I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. He seems to have adopted a mentoring role with Zach Wilson, so I do want to see Zach play tonight.
I just don't believe anything Aaron Rodgers says. I have a tough time, especially at this point in his career. I have a tough time thinking Aaron Rodgers could be the good guy.
Well, I
it'd
mean,
be unselfish.
$35 million. They paid him $35 million. Is that
yeah,
it's crazy. I don't see him $35 million worth.
No. One more thing for you.
Yes.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Back to Porter, real quick.
Go ahead.
Do you think that both Porter and Broderick Jones?
Yes, they should.
This is the question, though, from a psychological standpoint. Should they be told that in camp, or should they just be told that the week whenever the game's going to happen?
No, they're not
first game.
You do not tell them that yet, because something could happen in training camp that changes everybody's mind about it. I mean, maybe there's a superstar in the wings that comes along, starts playing his ass off, right?
I thought about this long and hard yesterday when I was looking at that practice field, is what it would do on either side, either to cement them and tell them for peace of mind, or if you told them, would complacency set in maybe?
I don't know about complacency, but peace of mind in a competitive sport is probably the enemy of the sport. No, there's no complacency. Do not let them feel comfortable. Make them fight, earn it every day. And that would be my mentality as a leader of that team.
Let me bring up one more thing about the Steelers, because I know this doesn't happen everywhere. It might happen a few other places, but not to this degree.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound all philosophical or be somebody that, there's violins playing or whatever. There's I like classical music behind this.
I like classical music.
It is something special, though, to be at St. Vincent and see the amount of former players who, of their own accord, decide to come back and just take in practice, that travel miles, that get in an airplane, that just want to be at St. Vincent and just walk around and be part of that. Yeah. We complain as a city a lot of times. Tomlin doesn't win this. Oh, the Rooney should do this. The true family atmosphere that's harbored by that organization, that's not fake. It's not fake at all. That's very real.
It is very real. Speaking of that, was Rod Woodson there yesterday?
2 days ago. Yeah. He was doing something with Ford, actually.
Yeah.
And I got to say hello to Rod. He was there. Aaron Smith was there. Our good friend Jeremy Tooman has been there. Just all kinds of Chris Hoke is there.
These are all quality people. These are not just good football players. These are quality people. Did you talk much to Rod about some of the things he's doing now for the kids?
Just briefly, but he's doing a ton. And a ton he's using his platform so well. It's incredible.
I think I told you this once before, but I live in his house, right? So whenever that was, that's the house that I live in. Probably shouldn't say that, but in any event, I do live in his house. So, and we're friends. So in my house now, he signed me the jersey that means the most to me Out of all the jerseys and memorabilia that I have, he wrote on his jersey, number 26, of course, Richard, we will be boys forever. And
Wow.
and he lives up to that. I mean, we talk, we do see each other, and we do talk, but he means that. We interviewed him once, didn't we? I think
Yeah,
we
he's just
but
the best.
he's
But
a great guy, great family guy. So yeah, great people. You talk about Jeremy Tooman, same. You ever meet a finer person than Jeremy? No.
he's just the best. He's incredible. And Rocky Blyer made a point to come up to camp, and just all these guys. And
Yep.
I'm looking around, and I'm saying, these guys. It's blazing hot. It's the middle of nowhere. It's a small college campus in Westmoreland County. Most of them are all financially secure and good. They don't have to be standing out here, and they choose to.
It's part of a fraternity. It's a fraternity. I mean, it really is. And I think it's wonderful. I love it. And I actually would retract my statement to you maybe last week or the week before about going away for training camp. Seeing this and seeing all this hype really changed my mind, because I think originally I said I would not do that. I would have camp right in Southside. I wouldn't do that. I would keep this tradition. It really does foster a lot of good feelings and relationships, and it really does become part of the culture of the Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, it's great. But that's that, Richard.
No,
Man,
it's not. I need more.
Oh, you tell me more, because
close-ups are not your friend. Stop it.
What aren't?
Close-ups.
No, I know, but I'm trying to look at your jacket. Is it periwinkle today?
Periwinkle. I don't know. Look at it. It's periwinkle. I'm colorblind, so I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Blue?
Yeah, blue, light blue.
Is this periwinkle? No, it's not.
I kind of like it though. Periwinkle.
Cute. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else is there? Is there anything else? We missed so much because we got so tied up.
No, we didn't miss much. It's about to be football season. Now we're going to have content that is game and practice and week-to-week specific, which is the best thing.
Well, you saw Pitt training camp open yesterday, right?
Yes. Our man Phil, let's go. There might not be a team in town, and I know that Kenny, but he could turn around and hand it off to Najee, or he could throw it up to some great receivers. I don't think there's a team in town whose win-loss record is predicated on one guy. Not to put pressure on him.
Yeah, this one really is.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is, and he's up for it, I can tell you. He's up for the challenge. He really is, and I will tell you at the end of the year, we're going to be sitting here talking about Phil Jacoby. Good luck, Phil. I love you. We love you. Colin loves you. We all love you.
Yeah, I hope he makes himself, and I honestly think he will, into a first-round pick and a guy that has a gigantic year.
Yeah, I think so too. I want him. Remember, he's playing for the NFL this year. That's what he's playing for. He's playing for the draft position. So let's go, buddy. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Are we done?
We are done. I'll see you after Michigan.
Oh yeah, have fun in Michigan. Bring home winners, please.
Yes, Ford to win. I know they will.
Ford all the way.
All right.
Goodbye.
We'll see you.